Next on Done in a Weekend Extreme Projects, how to make a raised bed a reality in your backyard. I'm landscape designer Doug Scott. Having partnered with Exmark over the last several years on their hugely popular Done in a Weekend Projects videos, we thought it was time to kick these cost and labor-friendly DIY projects up a notch in an effort to help you create the outdoor living spaces and experiences you've always dreamed of. Welcome to the all-new Done in a Weekend Extreme Projects series. Fairly easy to construct and even easier to maintain, raised beds continue to draw more and more interest from those folks who are interested in growing food in the comfort and convenience of their own backyard. Well, earlier this year, we built a raised bed in preparation for the growing season, so make sure to stay tuned to see the reveal of our final product, full of veggies. I'm both excited and honored to be joined by the end-all be-all when it comes to gardening at home, the Joe behind the JoeGardener.com gardening website, and the host of the Emmy Award-winning TV show, Growing a Greener World. And more than that, he happens to be my friend, Joe Lample. Thanks for being here, buddy, and lending your expertise on how to build raised beds.
It's good to be here, Doug. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, no problem. Hey, real quick question.
Yeah.
I have my reasons, but you're the raised bed guy.
Yeah.
Why would anybody go to the trouble to build raised beds when they can just put the plants in the ground?
Well, you want to create the ideal growing environment is the main reason. So around the country, most people don't have that perfect soil, and that's really what you're after for your plants to thrive. You can raise it up higher so it's easier to work in.
Okay.
You have fewer chances of weeds blowing in.
All
And it
right.
looks good. It's a nice architectural or design element in the landscape. So there's a lot of reasons for raised beds.
All right, so when it comes to size and dimension, is there any rules of thumb?
The main rule of thumb is the width. I would say that you never want that bed to be wider than 4 feet. And the reason for that is, as you're maintaining that bed and you're reaching in, you never want to compact the soil. A 4-foot wide bed allows you 2 feet access from either side,
Okay.
so you're never going to have to put weight on that soil. So that's key. But other than that, as far as the length, that's personal preference and how that looks in your landscape. It's just really what you want. There's no rule for that.
Okay.
As far as height, I would say the minimum height for a raised bed should be 6 inches. You want those roots to be able to grow out and down as much as possible. So the taller, the better, but 6 inches would be the minimum.
Okay, what about materials? What do we need to be thinking about?
Whatever works that contains that soil. But more often than not, most people are using lumber, whether that's treated or untreated. Treated is going to be the most readily available and the most economical, and it's going to last the longest most of the time.
Okay.
I like to use untreated hardwood.
Okay.
It lasts almost as long, and of course, as an organic gardener, I like the fact that there are no chemicals in the wood whatsoever.
All right, so when it comes to location, what do we need to be thinking about?
3 main things. You want to locate that bed in full sun if possible, because most of the plants that we're going to have on a raised bed need at least 8 full hours of sun. So you got to have that sunny location.
Okay.
Secondly, you want it to be convenient. You know, it's good to get out there and check on your garden and go out there and work on it from time to time. But if that bed's close by, you're more apt to get out there. So that's important. And the third thing is access to water. Of course, you need to get water to keep those plants alive. And so you need to have a way to make it convenient for that.
All right, I think we're good. Let's go.
Let's do it.
The materials needed for our 10-foot by 4-foot by 18-inch raised bed build are 9 6-inch by 6-inch by 12-foot cedar timbers, tape measure, T-square, and marking pencil, saw and extension cord, 1 box of 10-inch heavy-duty exterior wood screws, 10 24-inch by a 1/2-inch rebar stakes, 20 10-inch galvanized timber spikes, sledgehammer, impact drill and long drill bit, level, hammer, shovels, hardware cloth, wire cutters, and fence staples, work gloves, safety glasses, and earplugs, and wheelbarrow to transport soil. Begin by cutting 6 6x6 timbers, each measuring 10 feet 6 inches in length, and 6 6x6 timbers, each measuring 4 feet 6 inches in length. Then drill the appropriate rebar holes in each timber as outlined in our build schematic. Once the first layer of timbers has been placed, leveled, and squared in your desired bed location, fasten the corners using 10-inch wood screws, then secure the entire layer to the ground with 10 pieces of rebar. Next, place the second layer of timbers, staggering the corners and fastening them with wood screws, then secure the entire layer to the first with 10 10-inch galvanized spikes. All right, so what's this for, Joe?
This is galvanized hardware cloth. This is a very important step in the process. Any raised bed needs this. And what this is, it's a barrier that prevents moles and voles, those burrowing pests, from coming up and either eating your earthworms or destroying your plants.
Don't want that.
So the only way that we can do this is right now before we add the soil. So we're gonna measure this, lay it out, staple it in with those fin staples. We've got our wire cutters and our hammers. That's all it takes. But we gotta do this now because once the soil's in place, it's too late.
Okay.
After hardware cloth has been installed, place the third and final layer of timbers. Again, stagger the corners and secure them to one another with wood screws. Then secure this layer to the second with galvanized spikes. Now comes the fun part, filling the raised bed.
Talk to me about soil. Anything we need to consider given that we're doing raised beds?
We need to consider soil, whether it's raised beds or in-ground beds. Remember when we started our conversation, I said we really need to focus on building the ideal growing environment, and it's really all about the soil. So we really have to source that. I have this idea about the perfect soil recipe, which is typically 50% high quality topsoil, 30% really good quality compost, and then 20% organic matter, shredded leaves, bark, something like that. Now, if you can find those ingredients in different places and put it all together, good for you. It's not that easy to do, but it's doable. But a lot of people would like to have one place where they get that. And so that's what we've done. We've got this composted soil product that is delivered. We're using almost 3 yards. That's a lot of soil to just go out and buy piecemeal. So that's another reason to have it delivered, but it's also a lot cheaper when you buy it in bulk. But this is exactly the type of soil that we want in our raised beds if we're just using all of one thing, because it's got everything we need and we're gonna get great results. Yeah, look at that. That is amazing soil. So I'll finish this one. You wanna go ahead and get the next one?
Will do.
All right, great.
Is there anything we need to think about when it comes to maintenance in season or out of season?
Yeah, well, we have this gorgeous soil here that we want to protect, and the best way to do that is to just cover it up with a light layer of organic mulch. I like to use shredded leaves, but you could use straw, you could use finely ground bark, whatever is natural. And the other thing is you could just leave it in place as well and let that break down and contribute to the soil makeup also. So it's just another organic amendment that you just let rot in place if you want to, or you can move it out of the way, put your plants in and cover it back up. But what you don't want to do is just leave this exposed right now, because between the wind and the rain, you don't want to lose any of this.
All right, Joe, thanks so much for being here, man, and giving us your expertise. These beds look incredible.
Well, you're welcome, Doug. Thank you. You had a lot to do with that, and I agree with you. They look great.
But I can't wait to see what the homeowners do, what vegetables they put in the spring when I come back and check things out.
Yeah, we've set the stage for sure.
All right, let's go, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, here we are back on site to check out the raised bed that we built earlier this year. And doesn't it look amazing? And the bonus is our homeowners have vegetables to enjoy. Well, Joe and I and our friends at Exmark really hope that this Done in a Weekend Extreme video has helped you better understand what it takes to construct a raised bed so that you can build one and enjoy the literal fruits of your labor. As always, please check us out at exmark.com/backyard for more Done in a Weekend Extreme videos. Take care.